Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Emily from Notably Emily, and today I want to do a flip through of a couple of the journals I use the most. This will be my Camel TN, where I do some daily journaling, some planning, and I have a very fun insert in here as well. And I also have the Leuchtturm 1917 in this A5 cover, and I'll be showing you how I've used these journals and some of my favorite spreads. We'll start with my Leuchtturm. I have a postcard here from Wonder Pens that I wanted to paste in because I really liked it. And I have my pages here marked with some papers. This is the first spread that I did in this journal, and I really love it because it has such a beautiful colorway, and the PET or PET tape that I used matches the ink that I chose to use, which I really like. So I thought this would be a good introduction to my journal, and also showing you how I like to use some of the pages and collage and write. Here's another spread that I go to often, and it's actually all of my ink swatches. I did these with my J. Urban glass dip pen, and I come back to these pages when I'm trying to decide what ink I should use next in my fountain pens. I want to redo the swatches because they are quite small, and I feel like some of them didn't come out super well, like these ones really feathered because I was still learning how to use the glass dip pen, so they didn't turn out exactly right. But I really like having this in my journal, and I have it noted here with a piece of washi tape so that no matter where I am in my journal, I can just flip really quickly here and see what inks that I have. Here is another spread, and I've just covered the writing here with some collage papers, but I really like how the ink again matches the collage on this side, and I really love the warm tones here. It was mid-October, so it was peak August, October, November, really fall vibes. So I was really feeling the oranges and reds and warm tones here. And I think I accidentally skipped this page as well. So again, another collage on this side. I didn't fill up this whole page, but I really like the gold here and how simple this spread was. I was really trying to push myself to be a little bit more minimalist because I tend to get really into using lots of PET tape cutouts and stickers and stamps. So this is a more minimalist side to me. And even some people would say this isn't truly minimalist, but it is to me. Another spread here. I did this on the same day as the previous, more warm toned ones. It has such beautiful stamps here, and the Yeon Charm letter stamps as well. First time I had used those. Here's another spread, and sometimes I like to write notes or journal about things that are really interesting to me. This is something called the 12 favorite problems that I learned about, and the idea is to basically keep 12 or up to 12 open-ended problems in your mind that you're always looking to potentially solve. And so whenever you come up to some new information in your life, you can see if any of that new information would help you solve one of those 12 problems. And these were some prompts to help you decide what problems you should keep in the back of your mind and which ones would be important to you to solve. And here I did a little bit more of a multicolored spread, and Wonder Pens, of course, one of my favorite stores here locally in Toronto, and I'm sure lots of you have heard of them before. I had bought some ink samples from them, so I kept the bag and then I collaged with it here just because I really like it. And then sometimes, you know, I don't always do collages. Sometimes I'm just really feeling it being really simple. So I'm using the Peon Plates washi here. I really love using it for dates. And then I was just matching a La Dolce Vita PUT cutout to the date frame here, and the gold detailing. It's really something I really love. But it just shows, you know, I go from something like ink swatches to things being really simple to larger collage elements, and I like to try out different things, especially in this journal. I wanted to use up some of this PET tape. I really loved the colorway, and I felt it went really well with this ink. This is Mystic Mountain by Colorverse. It's a very blue-gray, and you might not be able to see it here, but there's some pink shimmer in it as well, which I really like. But I like doing this sort of spine design here and making it look like the flowers are falling down the page, and then I have lots of room on both sides to write. I really loved these little corner embellishments here, even though it was December. The spring green and the bright was really calling to me, and I started with this memo sheet that's like a really pretty soft green with tulips on it, and then just built around that. So sometimes I like doing little matching spreads like this and then leaving lots of room to write. Clearly I didn't need it this time, but that's okay. And that is my Leuchtturm, so I will put these back in here for later. And then we have my Camel TN, and something I did with this one is I used the plain insert that came with it, and I decided to try out daily journaling to see if something like a 5-year journal would be something I could keep up with, or something that I would be interested in doing for a long period of time. So I told myself I will use the insert here, and I'll just make my own daily journal where I just give myself a little bit of space to write every day. And I told myself if I kept it up through to the rest of the year, that by the time the Hobonichi 5-year for 2023 to 2027 came out, then I would buy that for myself. But just wanted to make sure that I would use it, so I did my own version here. You can see I started on July 15th, but my first day was July 16th, and some days I decorated with different washi tapes or PET tapes. I used different stamps, like my date stamper here, which was really handy for this. Some little cat washi tape that one of my friends sent me, and some different ink colors here, some print-on stickers. And this is where I started using Job from Job's Journal, his Jobakuri printable calendar, and he made these stickers that have the date on them all throughout August. So I thought that was a really great option for me. And here you can see I messed up when I was putting the wrong date on each page, so I put 2 here to get back on track. And I would just write about, you know, big things, small things that happened that day, and just used it how I would imagine a 5-year journal. And then I started using the Freckles Tea seal stickers. These are the date ones. Sometimes I just wrote in the date. I decided to use the full month's worth of print-on stickers here as well. So I was really feeling the pink that week. green ink, so sometimes I would keep up with whatever ink I was using at the time. And here's Caitlin and I, we went to a cafe, we also went to a pen show here in Toronto. So we took a photo together and I printed it out when I got home. And then at that pen show, I picked up the Peon plate washi, and so for the rest of the year, I used that for every day. There's an ink splatter here. I just really loved it for dates, and so I just kept using it. And then when I ran out of space, I just put Happy New Year, and I finished it for 2022. Since I still had space left, I decided that I would try out some planning in this. So I was just doing really simple, you know, a week to one page and some notes, and usually my to-dos over on the right side. Sometimes I got a little crazy with decorating. Here's my Christmas week spread, and then I haven't done it again because I was on vacation, but I want to finish up the last couple spreads. And then finally I have this very special insert, which is actually a swap journal, and this is something my two friends Olivia and Emma and I have been doing for almost the entire year of 2022 and into 2023. We each have a traveler's notebook insert, and we fill in a few spreads, and then we are sending them around to each other. So I always send mine to Olivia, Olivia sends it to Emma, Emma sends it back to me, and we each have one. So each of us always has a journal with us, and at the end when they're all filled up, each of us will have one to keep. So this is Emma's journal, so she started it, and she's showing us photos of near where she's at and what I did this month, you know, what I listened to, where I went. So these are some really fun ideas for journaling, even in general. Here, I went really crazy with the colors. I was really feeling it. It was April, and I was telling them about this event that I went to at the Toronto Zoo. It was a nighttime event with lots of really cool lights and exhibits, and this photo turned out really cool. Some more Freckles tea. I've been really into those ever since I got them. Here's my brother's cat, Minnie. We all really love her, so I always like to add in some photos of her or talk about her. And then here's a cool spread that I did with Spotify, where you can print out these little codes and they have the album artwork attached to them. And with your phone, you can scan the code and it will open it up in Spotify and play the song automatically, which is really cool. So I was telling them these are the songs I'm listening to recently, and then they can just look them up and listen to them right away. Here's another spread, and that's the end of mine. So here's Olivia. She did some spreads here. You know, it's collage, it's whatever we want it to be. Emma put in this ad from a Korean bookstore that she couldn't throw away because she liked it so much, so she decided to use it. Here's a painting that I did. It's in gouache, and I just wanted to try something out and add in something. I didn't let this dry long enough, so some of the paint got on this side, but that's okay. I think it turned out really great, and now Emma will have this in her journal forever, so that's pretty cool. And then I added some leftover paint onto these pages and collaged over them. And then I still have to fill in and finish this spread here, and I'll probably send it out after. I wanted to use up these stickers. I really like them, but I find them hard to use because they're not in my usual style, so I tried to push myself for this one and do something that was kind of cool. I was using pink ink on this side to match. That completes this flip through those are the 2 journals I wanted to show you with all of my favorite spreads in them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!